Hey everybody, Mike Miller with the Herald Times coming to you from Assembly Hall after Indiana's 76-62 win over UC Davis. IU now 5-1 on the season, and during Thanksgiving week, very thankful to get this fifth win. Very thankful for Juwan Morgan, who had 31 points, 3 shy of his career high, set a personal best with 5 3-pointers. Just everything and anything IU needed tonight, Juwan Morgan delivered. Romeo Langford gave him some late help. Wasn't a very complete game for Romeo Langford. I felt that early on he probably forced some shots, missed some shots he's shown he can make. Passing the ball wasn't crisp, wasn't always with a sense of purpose. Defensively, I don't think he was all that good. But when IU needed some help, when Juwan Morgan needed some help late to continue digging itself out of the hole, and on a night where they trailed 31 minutes, Romeo Langford stepped up. So I think if you are going to take any sort of meaningful takeaway from this night is that Indiana's best players played like it, and it's not the first time. So as we've seen this team navigate this early season stretch, as they've dealt with injuries, mounting injuries that kind of compound the already challenge of getting a team to gel through this first month of the season, the one thing IU has learned is that many nights it's going to have the two best players on the floor, and when things go wrong, when things aren't altogether going efficiently and smoothly, much like tonight unfolded, they can turn to those guys, and those guys are both willing and able to help them dig out of holes. So that's the encouraging thing for Indiana, both offensively for Juwan Morgan especially, who, again, was able to score all over basically every level of the floor, but also defensively had a really consistent defensive performance for an IU team that really struggled on that end early, got it going late. We're contesting shots, closing off some lanes, just playing more pressure-packed defense that you kind of almost expect to see at this point. When they were able to get that defense, it fed into the kind of offense I think this team most naturally tries to achieve, just off the break, in movement. They had a 28-3 run late in regulation, I think over a 7-minute stretch late in regulation that really helped them close this one out. So once they had that going, they were going. I don't know why I said that. Those were the good things. Juwan Morgan, Romeo Langford late. Getting your playmakers to actually make plays and winning plays at that late, digging out of that, that early 14-point deficit against a Big West team was all encouraging. Indiana got nothing from its bench tonight. It was an 8-man rotation. Evan Fitzner, Deron Davis, and DeMazie Anderson really didn't do a whole lot of anything off the bench, which is concerning for Indiana, as this was its last tune-up game before Tuesday's ACC Big Ten Challenge at Duke. Just not getting anything from those guys against a team like this, in a game where they absolutely needed it, not a good sign. Deron Davis actually only played 5.5 minutes. I think that he played, number one, was encouraging, considering that he did not play Tuesday with some of that Achilles soreness he was dealing with as IU took on UT Arlington on Tuesday. But he did play 5.5 minutes tonight. At one point, he had to run into the IU locker room, but he didn't miss a whole lot of time. He was back on the bench relatively soon after, and played, I think, maybe a minute or two after that to reach his 5.5 limit. We'll see where he's at moving forward, but the fact that he was actually able to play bodes well for IU. Got nothing out of Evan Fitzner. That's a little bit of a concern after he flashed to be what appeared to be a intriguing rotation guy in some of these first couple 2-3 games. Haven't gotten anything from him this week. And DeMazie Anderson played 6.5 minutes, took only one shot, had a turnover. So and now you're still just kind of hoping you get some reinforcements back. I think it's definitely possible and maybe even likely that Devontae Green and Zach McRoberts are back on Tuesday at Duke. Both players, they did not play, but they did warm up, were both dressed and participate in pre- and halftime warm-ups for IU. So you see where those guys are in the coming days. Jerome Hunter is back with the team. He was not on the bench. He was not feeling well tonight, but he's back on campus, he's out of the hospital in Cleveland. He's back in Bloomington. I'm not sure where Race Thompson is, but progressively, slowly, IU's getting healthy. And as they do, they're getting the kind of anchor performances from their best players that are able to carry them through in games like this. Al Durham continues to give you really solid minutes, too, in that backcourt that needs the help. In the backcourt where there's just really no help beyond those guys, no reinforcements beyond those guys, to see another pretty solid night for Al Durham was encouraging for IU. Let's see where we wrap this up. Probably we'll wrap that up. Brennan Solo. Back at it again in the morning. IU and Purdue kick off in the Old Oaken Bucket game. Noon. I believe that's on ESPN2. See you there.